Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 63 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so what's in the magazine? The many lives of the SS Germanic. So apparently it transferred ownership quite a few times. There's another picture of it there, an artist's rendering. Apparently it was owned by the Turks at one point. Interesting. And that's everything. So just the article in the Germanic in the magazine. But that's not why we're all here. Let's have a look at what's in the box. Okay, so in today's box, aside from about 3 stickers to try and seal it, which incidentally didn't work, we have a lot of brown envelopes. We have some LM screws, which are these horrible hex head ones. We have some AM screws and some IM screws. And we also have a lot of reflective stickers. Joy. So, let's see what's in the envelopes. Inside this one we have another metal bracket to match the one we got last time. In here we have a couple of benches and a couple of duct pieces. Some more detail for the boat deck, and we have the tarpaulins to go on the 2 cutters that are sitting immediately above the bridge, because I know some people had gone ahead and made their own, but no need, they do send you them eventually. Just make sure there's nothing stuck in these brown envelopes. And then, the main attraction in many ways for this issue, another lovely big piece of the hull. Looking very nice. Again, spotless paintwork on it. The anti-fouling red looks great. So again, this issue's a wee bit bitty, a wee bit back and forth, doing different things with different pieces we've already worked on. But the first thing we need is the hull. So I'll get that over and I'll be back in just a tick. Okay. So with the hull over, the first thing we're doing is attaching the bracket on here to match the other side. And I'll turn it around so you can see what I'm doing. It goes on there and it goes with the 2 extrusions pointing upwards, and that is being held on with the 2 AM screws, which are supplied in this issue. It's AP screws we have I was going to say a healthy amount of, but we have an absolute overdose of AP screws at the moment. But I'm assuming we'll need them later. So that goes on there. Again. Screw it in. Sure these are nice and tight. So the last thing you want is for the bracketry to be loose. There you go. That's perfect. And the next thing we're doing is, of course, fitting this piece of hull. Now it's going on the other side, so this side here. So I'll turn this back around, so you at least have a slithering chance of seeing what I'm doing. Now you can see that point there. That is where that is hooking round. It's probably easier to do it like that. Yep, just as long as it all lines up. Yep, there you go. that goes in like that, and then we're using the 2 IM screws supplied, oh sorry, nope, IM screw is going in the bottom, the LM screw, which is the hex head, is going in here. Now, they do supply you with an Allen key, however, I hate using them, they're horrible. They're not much fun to try and work with. You can only get a quarter of a turn or something at a time, so what I have is a different head from my precision screwdriver set, and as you can see it is a hex head. It's a 2mm hex head. So swap that over, get it in there, and what I may have to do is pull the extension out slightly to make it easier to get it lined up nice and straight. There we go. Don't know who decided these hex heads were a good idea. Not a fan of Allen keys, don't like them, so that's why I always make sure my precision screwdriver sets have hex heads in them. So I haven't tightened it all the way, purely because we've still to screw the bottom bit in, and if you've got the angle even slightly wrong, it'll make it a lot harder. So take the hex head off and put the PHO back on, and get one of the IM screws, which is the flange screw with the Phillips head. Now I did check, and they are different, slightly different sizes, because my wonder was, could you just use the IM screws for both? But no, they're different depths and slightly different sizes, so no, you can't. Which is a shame, because that would have been a lot handier than trying to use these hex heads. And again, it just goes in to that hole there. There we go. And that is looking just like that. I did say we were adding a lot of length this time. That is fantastic. But that's us done with the hull for now. I do believe. I will just check. Yep, we are indeed done with the hull. So, we're now moving on to the reflective stickers. So I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so the next thing you need is this deck house here, which again we've fixed all these lovely details to, and we now need to turn upside down to do the delightful reflective stickers. That's the word. Absolute brain fart there, my apologies. So we need sticker number 19, which is this one down here. So peeling that off, again you will need your tweezers for this, unless you have very, very small hands. And again, just I've found it easier to poke the window holes so they stay on the reflective sheet. And it is going on this side here with the vent, because obviously you don't want your vent to be covered by a reflective sticker. However, you are now going to get light shining through the vent, but that's not the point. In there. That, and as per last time, get my little drill. Ugh, it's going to be a bit harder because I can't quite put my finger in there, but yeah, okay, so using the tweezers, on the other hand, to hold the sticker on, because its inclination is simply to peel back off, using the tweezers to keep it on. There we go. Poke a hole. I'll try the other side and see if it will stay stuck. Nope. Same again. Get the tweezers. A little bit of pressure to make sure the sticker stays stuck as such. And drill through. There we go. Just to make sure that the deck lights do light up as you would like them to. That hasn't worked. 2 seconds. There we go. That's it now. Fantastic. So I'll go ahead and do the reflective stickers for the rest of this piece. You're not wanting to watch me do that. You can see what I'm doing. The reflective stickers going all the way round here. Okay, so that's that all decked out with its reflective stickers. Now that wasn't too bad. It now wants me to bring the deck over, fit this to its position, turn the deck upside down, screw this one down, then turn the deck the right way, and then get the third funnel base and do the same. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is put the stickers on the third funnel base and then attach them both at the same time, because I think that just makes more sense rather than continually turning the deck upside down. Now I think this one may be slightly more difficult because of the number of wee bends and folds, and you've got these wires to contend with. So again, we're just fitting all these reflective stickers into the bottom side of the funnel. So I'll do all that and I'll come back to you. I'm not going to make you watch me do it. Okay. Okay, so that is the third funnel base, all reflective stickered up. Now the hardest one, and you can see because I've not done it very well, is that one there, because of these wires again. They're so close. It's almost impossible, but hey, it's all done. It's done now. Don't need to think about it. Just need to make sure when I put this on, there's no stickers sticking over the side, as is always a risk. But yeah, that's that all done. So the next thing that we're doing is attaching these two deck housings to the deck itself. Now again, as is always the risk when turning stuff upside down, one of the wee vents fell off. So I will reattach that now. And one of the other ones came kind of loose as well, so I'm just going to stick them both on before I start messing about, turning things upside down, etc. If I can find where my glue stick has gone. There it is. As I say, I don't tend to glue the vents in place, but I am now because these ones were falling out and I don't want to lose them. So just a little bit of glue. That one's fairly tight. That one's quite loose. So there we go. That's them glued in. Because I don't see me taking these ones back out, the round ones. So now we need to bring the boat deck itself over, which I have sitting right next to me. The thing I need to remove is the front deck housing, and here we have the boat deck. So first thing I'm going to do is pop the dome out because it will just fall off. The first thing it wants me to do is take this piece, line it up the way it goes. Just checking that's right, yep. And then what I'll do is I'll put one screw in this one to hold it in. So there are 4 screw holes underneath for this one to go into. I'll turn so you can see that's those 4 holes here. So put this one in first, because it should in theory be the easiest, being nearest to me. And I'll stick one on the other side just for insurance. Again, I understand they like, oh well, here's a deck house, build it and then that's you finished with it. Right, now screw it down. But it means that by the time you're coming to screw things to the deck, they've got so much detail on them, you struggle to find anywhere to put your fingers to gain any purchase. I'm just going to put the final 2 screws in while I'm holding it like this anyway. Because I'll need to adjust my grip as we're going to be connecting some more of the wiring up. Oh, which doesn't mean I'll need the wire extensions that we were given earlier are now coming into play. And I was just checking to make sure I actually had them sitting, but I do, they're right next to me. Unusually well prepared, me there. Normally far more haphazard. Right. Now what we're doing is taking the 3rd funnel base, line it up jigsaw style with the 2 pieces places it's meant to go. Now the big long cable, that's this one, feeds through that hole here and out the underside. And pulling it tight allows me to line this cable J3 up with the smaller hole, the other hole, the shorter cable, up with the other hole. That's, yeah. Right words, Derek, come on. And pull that through. And then line everything else up and sit it down into place. Then turn this round, and there are 6 screws. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 holding the 3rd funnel base in place. So put the first one in here. Joys of a magnetic screwdriver. You want 1 screw, it picks up 3. Just one in here. Just make sure it's still sitting flush to the deck, and it is. That's good. And this is also starting to reinforce the joins in the deck, because these 2 screw holes here are on the other side of the join, which should give it a bit more rigidity, hopefully. Because at the moment I'm very, very aware that the deck feels very flimsy as I'm moving it about, and I don't like that too much. Okay, so this screw goes in here. Final 2. One in here. And the last one goes in there. Now it does tell you to plug all the wires and everything in before you screw it down, but I wasn't going to mess about with cables until I knew the thing was secure, because I know all the wires work, because the lights work, because I've tested them. Okay, so this cable here is being left at the moment, apparently. Right then. Okay. Alright, okay, so give me 2 seconds. I'm going to flip this over because the instruction manual has it the other way around. So now the advantage is I can set it on the funnels. So this one, J3, isn't going into socket J3 for some reason. It's going into socket J1. Now that just makes no sense to me, but okay, that's what it's telling me. You know, there's no way I can have my board in upside down. Oh well, okay. Again, just making sure pushing the connectors in properly. Go. See, that's a bit awkward just because of the angles. Okay, so that's the only one I think I'm plugging in at the moment. Yes, indeed it is. So that one gets plugged in. This one we're leaving loose at present, apparently. And then what I need to do is get one of the extension cables, and it goes one of these here, which are marked Z, and it will go from J3, just this one here, if I can get it in. Just say very, very awkward the angle these are at, and it will stretch across here and plug into J1 on this board here. So it'll plug into this end socket here, and that will connect these two boards together. So when I put power in to this socket here, which I can't do because I don't have batteries in at the moment, it should light up all the lights between each of these deck housings. I'm just going to check if there's anything else to do at this point. 2 seconds. I don't want to turn everything back over if I've still got other things to do. Not with the boat deck. So I can turn that back over. Again, I will show you what it looks like when it's all lit up. But that is what that area looks like, all secured down, all the deck housings in place. I think that looks fantastic. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now, to keep the ducts, benches and pipework, as well as the other sheet of reflective stickers, but there is one more small task to perform. And that is with the front of the boat deck. We're putting on, I think this bolt's loose, yes it is. We're putting the tarpaulins on these bolts. Now this bolt I didn't glue down, I glued one but not the other, but I will glue it now. It's got the tarpaulin fixed in place. Again, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep these or if I was going to use aftermarket ones or what I was going to do with the bolts, but I actually quite like the bolts that come with the kit now. So, and again, the other tarpaulin goes on the other boat. So that looks like that. And we're getting increasingly close to a completed boat deck. I believe we actually fit this down in the next issue. But yeah, that is us, finally, for issue 63. So, that's us all done for issue 63 of Titanic, the ship, the legend. What's coming in issue 64? The top piece of the hull and the bracket that goes across, and some screws. So not too much coming in the issue, but I believe we are fitting some more bits to the deck, all the piping and everything that we had done there. I think we're doing all that in the next issue as well. So yeah, as you can see, this is what we did with the front bridge piece, just fitted those tarpaulins, and then we have the boat deck where we attached the third funnel and the deck housing there. I believe that's the top of the engine room. And again, look how big that is. It's just absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? And speaking of getting big, we have the hull. So we've worked on a little bit of everything today, and that's how big the hull is now looking. Like, you can see it next to me. It's now broader than my shoulders. No comments about me being scrawny. But yeah, the next bit of hull will go in there, and you can see she's coming along. She's coming together very, very nicely at this stage. It's getting quite exciting, getting to put more and more bits on it and watch it grow. But yeah, as I say, join me for the next one. Any feedback, comments or criticisms, drop them below. Feel free to leave me a like, please. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you want to see the rest of this build and possible future builds too, although I haven't quite settled on one yet. But yeah, thank you very much. And as always, guys, peace out.